Boxfights have been a staple of creative mode for a couple of months now, dominating both creative fill and matchmaking altogether. And the maps range from metal boxes with spawn pads, all the way up to maps switching between box fights and zone wars every round. So I really want to talk about the most unique box fight maps, and today we're going to be looking at the 3 that are, in my opinion, the most creative and overall are just a lot of fun to play. The codes will be in the description and on screen while introducing the maps, but make sure to let me know down in the comments which map is your favorite. Firstly, introducing Enigma's Lightspeed Boxfights. This map is a first of its kind in many ways, being the first ever map to introduce parkour, aim training, etc. for you to practice or play in between rounds after you die, if you can even call them rounds. What's neat is the fact that this map has 10 rounds, but it all takes place in one Fortnite round. Enigma killed it with the mechanics of this map, greatly reducing the amount of time it takes to reset and load each round by just kind of resetting the eliminations and things like that inside of the map, which pretty much means that you get to play a ton more in a lot less time. This map is also overall pretty small, meaning that it's going to be pretty intense to play no matter how many players you have. And to build off that intensiveness, this map has a storm that closes in slowly over time to push players in the middle of the room and keep the action going. Now, to top it all off, Enigma has probably created one of the coolest placement systems with awards that are given out every single round in the form of glows. So first place gets a gold glow, second gets a silver, and third gets a yellow bronzest sort of hue. Now, what's cool about this though is at the very end of the 10 rounds, it ends up becoming a podium ceremony. So first place gets put up on the podium, then second and third, and it's probably one of the coolest and funniest things I've seen in creative mode. It blows me away that this map is not the go-to for standard box fights. It knocks every other map out of the park with its unique way of handling rounds and giving players something to do in between rounds. And as well, who doesn't love a good old award ceremony? And now just a quick word from the sponsor of today's video, Core. Core is a brand new game creation platform that lets you do everything from building a game from scratch with zero coding required, to publishing that game to thousands of players and even playing tons of games already created by Core in the community. Core makes it easy to create multiplayer 3D games. You can get started with their free, high-quality music, sound, and art assets. Core takes care of the hassle of setting up a multiplayer network and lets you focus on the fun part of creating a game. And right now, Core is hosting a secret space game jam with extra credits, and there's a prize pool of $3,500. In addition, Core recently announced the $1 million Core Creator Program for top creators of games. Core is 100% free, so if you want to create or play any of the games on their platform, make sure to check out the link in the description. Box fights overall have trended towards 1 life per round, the standard blue AR, purple pump, and a couple of heals and some fishies. Now, this is really great for some maps, especially the competitive ones, but this next map throws all the normal rules out the window and implements the most unlikely combo of mechanics: box fights, gun game, and respawning. Now, before you think I'm crazy, these loadouts stay somewhat competitive, featuring a pump and attack in combination with an AR or an SMG or a pistol. So you always have 2 guns, one being a shotgun that isn't something crazy like a double barrel, and you have the backup of an AR or an SMG. And like in gun game, every elimination you get a new loadout of guns, starting with a gold scar and a gold pump, and working your way down to a gray tac and a gray FAMAS for your final kill. But there's still so much more within this map. Everyone has a preference on which slot they like their shotgun and AR, and since you're constantly getting new weapons after every elimination, it would be a hassle to switch slots constantly. That's why at the beginning of round 1, you get to choose whether or not you want your shotgun in slot 1 or 2. And your choice is then saved for the following rounds, letting you focus on playing the game and having fun. But one of my favorite mechanics about this map is the fact that it expands in size depending on how many players are in the lobby. It takes a count during the beginning of the match and expands at different increments of players, meaning you can play this map as a 1v1 or even a full 16 free-for-all. And it will still feel like the size is perfect for the amount of players. And just like the other two maps, it offers something completely different from any other Boxfight map, pairing high intensity with respawning and mixing in some ever-changing weapons helps create an experience that you won't get in another map. Now you might recognize this next map from the matchmaking portals. ImmatureGamer has one of the most convenient and unique mechanics in his duo map. He has an automatic team changing mechanic that makes custom teams so much easier to put together. All you have to do is enter one of these little portals, and after that your portal is then disabled, allowing only 2 players per team. This makes it easier to coordinate team switching and getting into matches much faster. Within Skyfall, both duos and solos, it starts with a large room and green weapons. Eventually, the floor will fall out below you into a smaller box with better weapons, and then this happens 3 times as the box shrinks every time, finishing out with gold weapons, a heavy sniper, and a tiny box with zones closing in. This increases the intensity quite a lot, and every time you drop down a level, you have to choose on whether or not you want to create space in between you and your opponent, maybe enough time to get a res, or use it as an opportunity to box up right next to them. As you can see in the footage, this map is only being played with 4 people, 2 duos, but it still plays out great. And that's one thing that I really like about this map. Depending on players, you can get a complete different experience than other Boxfight maps, simply because the amount of space the initial levels can offer. It gives some more long range fights in comparison to the upfront brutalness of other maps. If you want a team Boxfight map, you can't go wrong with Skyfall. Making it so easy to team up and combining a really unique map with great mechanics is the only way to play some of the best out there. Now, I just want to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to check out today's sponsor, Core. They're going to be linked down in the description below. If you want to check out any of the other maps we looked at in today's video, check out the description below as well, and check out the videos these creators made on their own maps, linked below as well. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.